Did you hit the record button?
Yep.
You're recording? I got something in my eye, of course.
Come on, Ben.
Professional broadcasters.
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Hey, everybody, it's Ben Riley, and we are in the warehouse of Life of Riley. We decided to mix it up a little bit this time.
Change the scene a little bit. I'm Jason Emerson, by the way.
Jason Emerson,
Thanks
as
for
always.
Introducing me.
Absolutely. Well, you know.
What am I, like Jim to your Marlon Perkins, right? As Wayne.
Who's Marlon Perkins?
Do you remember that? Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
What's like the insurance company?
Yeah.
What does it have to do with Animal Kingdom?
Marlon Perkins, he was like this big animal guy, and they'd like travel all over the world and talk animal stuff. And Jim was his assistant. You ever watch Wayne's World? And,
yes.
You know, that line.
What does that have to do with animal?
I don't know. There's just a line from Wayne's World.
So Mutual of Omaha.
I can't believe you've never seen that show.
I'm going to Google this now.
Man.
Do you know who Marlon Perkins is?
No idea.
Wow.
So Mutual of Omaha. What was it, like a Saturday morning
It's
cartoon
called Wild
show?
Kingdom. No, it was like Sunday night.
Is it like Jack Hanna with the boa constrictors?
No, they would like travel all over the world and like be on site. Like go to Africa and then they go underwater, kind of like Jacques Cousteau type thing. And
really?
yeah,
I still don't understand the Mutual of Omaha connection. I'm still stuck on this.
That's the sponsor.
Like when you're
look it up. Everyone look it up online. It's
Google
super cool.
Mutual of Omaha Wild Animal Kingdom.
Yep.
With Jack Hanna's boa constrictors.
We haven't even started drinking
We
yet.
have gotten off the rails already.
Yes.
All right, so what are we drinking?
I'm excited about this wine. This is from J.S. Hight & Sons in Caz, of course, on Albany Street.
Sponsored by Mutual of Omaha.
Sponsored by Mutual of Omaha. And Judith, I have a little cheat card here because I couldn't remember. This is Cheverny, which is the company. One time when I was a waiter, we served this by the glass. I'll never forget. This is what I don't like pretentious people, especially when dealing with wine.
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
I'm
just kidding.
Nothing.
Just kidding. Go ahead.
This guy, and he was like, he said, I'll have a glass of the Cheverny. And I said, excuse me? He said, do you want the Cheverny? No, the Cheverny. I'm like,
Cheverny.
what? The Cheverny. I'm like, all right. I'm like, what is that?
Taven's dying on the couch. I wanted the couch in the shot.
See?
But Siobhan didn't want the couch in the shot. Because I love the couch. The couch was supplied by Jessica Amadon. Go to Caz Cans. Oh, the couch is in the shot.
There it is. Nice.
The couch is in the shot.
Laughing at our stories. So, actually, let me not get sidetracked.
I'm sorry. That was my fault.
Judith gave us this fantastic wine. This is Pinot Noir, Gamay, and Malbec.
Ooh.
I cannot wait to try it. This company, Cheverny, I'm going to anglicize it. Their Sauvignon Blanc is fantastic. So I've never had the red, so I have to try it.
Go ahead. There you are. You're too young. You can smell it, but you can...
Yep, my daughter loves to smell the wine.
Yep. Oh, we have the kids smell everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I used to work at the winery, they used to go in and smell it all the time. They used to punch down. What was your favorite thing to do at the... I already said it, but what was the favorite...
Punch down the grapes.
Punch down the grapes. So that's how red wine... Part of the reason how red wine gets its color. So all wine comes out of the press clear. White. Mm-hmm. But that's how it ferments on the skins. So basically, when you go through a maceration process with the red grapes, you guys remember this. So you actually ferment on the skins, and it extracts tannins, and it extracts the color of the grape skin. Nice. That's how red wine gets its color.
Nice.
Yep. So where were you a waiter?
Oh,
and how long ago was this?
Oh, this was a while. I worked in Fredericksburg, Virginia, when I lived there.
Ooh, that is nice.
And, I was a stay-at-home dad.
Mm-hmm.
I worked in D.C. as a reporter, and then my daughter was born.
How was that?
That was fascinating. I would go to the Pentagon. I went to the House and Senate office buildings, House and Senate chambers. I went to, I twice heard a Supreme Court arguments in the Supreme Court.
Really?
One of the rare times that Justice Clarence Thomas, he never speaks, ever. He actually spoke. And I'll never forget my bureau chief, who was amazing. I'll tell you a great story about him in a second.
Yeah.
The story, I don't even remember what it was, but the story was one thing. And Clarence Thomas asked an interesting question, nothing great. And my boss is like, you got to put his comments in the story. I'm like, yeah, but they weren't that great. He's like, I don't care. He never speaks. You got to put it in the story. Oh, okay. But that was interesting. Yeah, my boss worked for 40 years for UPI, United Press International. He had some crazy stories. He would tell me about flying in a biplane around Cuba during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah.
Trying to find the battleships that were facing off, the Russian and American ships.
Whoa.
And he had the best story, I'll never forget this. He told me that he was down in like Mississippi or somewhere. He was in a church with Martin Luther King and all of his friends and followers.
Yeah.
And outside the church, it was ringed by Ku Klux Klan, all holding torches, who were going to set the church on fire. And my boss said that he stood next to Martin Luther King as he called on the phone to Bobby Kennedy, Attorney General at the time, and said, "You need to send troops right now or we're all going to die."
Whoa.
I can't even imagine reporting stuff like that.
Jeez.
Yeah, I learned a lot from him, but it was cool when I worked in D.C.
Yeah.
A lot of people might not know this, but there are tunnels under D.C. So there's the Capitol building, and then the Senate office buildings are over here, and the House office buildings are over here.
Okay.
Supreme Court's over here. And there are underground tunnels from the office buildings into the Capitol and all underneath the Capitol. And even under the Library of Congress has 3 buildings, and there's tunnels that connect all 3 of those. And they have a little shuttle system, so I've sat next to Hillary Clinton on the shuttle, just kind of traveling in between places.
Why is it underground? What purpose does it serve?
I think it's kind of privacy for the senators and Congress people.
So they're not just walking down the side of the road or whatever.
Yeah, probably weather too, but then they don't get accosted by, because they got to get to the votes, and then they go back to their office, and they got to go to another vote and
walk through protests every single day.
Right.
And
it was fascinating. I actually accidentally, one time I got lost, and I found myself in front of the crypt built for George Washington that was never used.
Really?
Yeah,
And it's still there?
Still there. And fun fact, when Abraham Lincoln died, his wife almost had him buried there because the people of Illinois were not consulting her on how they would bury her husband. And she said, "If you don't do what I say, I will have him buried in Washington's crypt in D.C."
Wow.
But apparently the crypt is haunted. There's a black cat that people see.
Yeah.
That obviously there's no cat there. It just walks around. It's super cool. Yeah.
We were just talking about haunted houses and creepy stuff the other day. What were we just talking? Was it?
The landmark.
Oh,
Yeah,
you went to. That's right. You went to the landmark,
The Brae Loch.
and we were talking about the Brae Loch.
The
We
Brae
just
Loch
we
is
just saw
fun.
that video. Have you seen the video of that?
No.
The
Go ahead.
vase thrown across the room when they brought the original owner's name up.
Really?
Yep. So Andrew Donovan, so one of our friends from Channel 9, he went and interviewed Val Barr
Okay.
at the Brae Loch at 4:30 in the morning because it was like the morning news or whatever it was.
Yeah, they just got
And-
put on the State Registry of Haunted Places.
Yes.
So
That might have been it. This was back in October. I think it was
Yeah.
like 3 days before
Yep.
Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So he's interviewing Val in the upstairs portion, like where the gift shop is and where the dining is upstairs. So the original owner of the Brae Loch, her name was Val Burr, Burr.
Really?
So he called her Val Burr in the interview, and 2 seconds later you can hear a smash of a glass
Really?
downstairs at 4:30 in the morning.
Wow.
No one else was in the building.
Nobody else was in the building. So Mr. Barr came over at 4:30 and he confirmed that there was nobody else even in the building.
It was just the curtain.
And they went downstairs
crazy.
with the camera from Channel 9 and they filmed the glass underneath down
Really?
there. So it was either Mrs. Burr saying, that's not her name, that's my name,
Right.
or whatever.
Wow.
But yeah, totally.
That's
It ended
neat.
up being like an hour conversation.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I have a great story. Well, actually, at first we should tell people, if you like to watch our show, which I've had a couple people come up and say that they love our show. Which is
Yeah.
awesome.
So those 2 people that are watching,
Those 2
thank
people,
you.
thank you for watching.
Just
May-
kidding.
maybe it'll be 3 now.
Maybe 3 people.
But we don't have any guests this week, so we're just chatting about life, liberty, and the pursuit of
That's
happiness,
right. That's
as
exactly
Ben
right.
said earlier.
That's exactly right.
So
So
we're
yeah,
just
unfortunately we had a guest cancel last minute. He had a case of food poisoning last minute. So yeah, so he's going to try to Dr. Amid is going to try to come on next week with us.
That would be great.
He's an entrepreneurial professor, and he writes. He's a contributor for Forbes magazine and Entrepreneur magazine.
And,
so super cool.
I can't wait to ask him about. He wrote one article called "The Four." I don't remember the exact title. It was like the 4 business practices I learned from watching Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah,
fascinating.
Yeah.
It was
I saw that. I
utterly
got to send that to you.
fascinating. Yeah, but we just got confirmation in a future episode we are going to have Brookfield Town Supervisor John Salka will be with us. He's running for assembly against Bill McGee.
Yep.
But we're not going to talk politics. We're going to talk about what's going on in not just Madison County, but the Assembly District, entrepreneurship,
Yep.
small businesses, agriculture, craft beverage industry, and it goes with politics. But don't worry, we're not going to get political. So.
And we just confirmed yesterday, Scott Flaherty from Madison County Tourism is going to be on in April. They're going to unveil their brand new logo and their brand new
Fantastic.
marketing package here on the show.
Fantastic.
So he's going to be on. I think it's April. What did I say? April 20th.
20th, I think it was.
Yeah. So he's going to come on in. He's going to come on in the next month.
And then also something different for us. Wayne Johnson.
Yep.
Guy that I know. He's a local actor. He was in a movie called Romeo 3000. They filmed part of it in Caz last summer. He said he will be on the show.
Cool.
And I'm working on the director/owner of Mad Angel Films. They film out of Utica. But I think one of the only, if not the only, movie production company in Central New York. There might be others, don't hold me to that. But I know they film like 8 movies or so in Central New York. And we're going to talk about the movie industry in this area. Acting, directing. We're going to talk Romeo 3000 just because we're in Caz.
What's that? Was it based in Cazenovia?
They filmed at Hillcrest, Jefferson Estate.
Really?
It was super cool. So it's
I didn't know
the
that.
story of Romeo and Juliet in the year 3000. And there's like cyborgs and evil witches. And it was very cool. It was super cool. So
We're getting weird looks from the couch.
Yes. My daughter came. We watched them film for like 3 hours. It was fascinating.
Last summer?
Yep, last summer.
Too cool.
And and of course Hillcrest is a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And they did the big balcony scene with Romeo and Juliet. They did that on her porch at Hillcrest, and
Nice.
that's fascinating. So so they're going to come talk about that, and I think the movie's coming out very soon.
Cool.
And they're going to film it, or they're going to show it in Utica, but also I think at the Landmark or some theater in Syracuse, so everyone can see it if they're interested in it. So
Very cool.
we're going to have some very cool guests coming on the show very soon.
So you don't have to listen to us ramble on.
Exactly.
We'll actually have people here.
But our stories are good.
We think so.
Yeah. I've got a good story. Going back to the ghost thing.
Yep.
So
we like ghost stories.
Yep. As I think people know, I am a journalist. I'm the editor of the Caz Republican and the Eagle Bulletin. Before that, I was the editor of the Skinny Atlas Press, which is also part of Eagle newspapers. So there was one of the many ghost hunter type shows on TV, which I won't name because I don't know if I can on a show. They came to Skinny Atlas to film. There's a big white house right on the main route, and there's a big sign that's stop on the Underground Railroad.
Yep.
You know that?
Of course.
So they were there on Halloween a few years ago. And the stories from that house were crazy, crazy creepy.
So it's up near, it's right on Route 20, across from the new fire department.
I read
Yep.
a whole book about it.
Right
Did
by
you?
the cemetery, yeah.
Right by the cemetery.
So they were, this is funny though, so they were talking about the stories like candelabras just floating through the air. And things flying through the air, and doors opening and closing. And the creepiest thing, though, is apparently in the main bedroom. And it wasn't just the owners; like just people would come in the house, and these weird things would happen.
Yeah.
But up in the main bedroom, they could hear whimpering in the closet.
Oh.
And if they opened the closet, there'd be a little black slave boy crouched in the corner that they could see. So this ghost crew came. I watched the show. It was hilarious. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
When they were there.
When they were there.
Of course not.
And then at one point they were down in the basement. And there's like 6 of them, right? And they're filming, nothing's going on. And then this marble comes rolling across. They're like, oh my God, did you see that? Did you see that? And they go back, and there's a guy back there. I'm like, oh yeah.
Now they just started making stuff
Yeah.
up. They're like, we got to spice this up a little bit.
Exactly. Then they're walking around the house, and then you just hear this little, oh, did you hear that? There was a ghost.
Somebody snapped a
They
twig.
they were trying so hard. I'm like, that's when you just come back the next day.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
The best Halloween,
It was interesting,
the
though.
best trick or treat house, and the kids have heard me say this, the best trick or treat house of all time, I don't care, Skinny Atlas, anywhere, was the Price Mansion in Skinny Atlas. So if you know where the Krebs is, the Krebs restaurant,
Yep.
it's directly across the street. It's
Okay.
one of those big white mansions that are set back with the big
Those
pillars.
are amazing.
Amazing. So when I was growing up in Skinny Atlas, it was always known as the Price Mansion. So it had this big, long. I mean, you think it would be like a quarter mile long when you were a kid. This big, huge driveway, or the big, huge walkway, and they had one of those big old houses that had one of the big foyers with like the big double doors that would open. And they went all out. So there was a whole family affair when they did this, and they had the one with like the huge banister of the stairs. So you'd walk in, and there would be a butler. So the butler would be standing there, and he'd open up the door, and out comes the dry ice, out comes the music, out comes all this stuff. And he'd answer it like Lurch from the Addams Family. He'd open it up, he'd go, "You rang?" And he'd stand there like this. And then over on the left, they had a coffin. So they had a coffin about 4 feet in the air. And it was sitting on, whatever, like a stand or something like that. So the bowl of candy was sitting on someone's chest in this
that's
thing. So you got the
fantastic.
music, you got there's the guy with the cut off arm, there's the whole thing. But inside the bowl was like the mother of all. It was king size Butterfingers.
Oh.
And
You
when
had to grab it on
you
some
had to reach
dead body's chest.
Yeah.
Nice.
So one at a time, you'd have to walk up, reach in, every single time. He'd grab his arm like this. I swear I peed my pants like 3 years in a row.
Did anyone not get their hand?
Oh yeah. Oh, we used to have people not go back like at all.
No, I'm saying like
Yeah.
their
That's
hand,
awesome.
Did your hand never get grabbed? Did you pull it away?
Oh, your hand, he grabbed everybody's hand, but you knew it was coming, but you still peed your pants.
Right.
That's why it was fun, because you did it every single time. But that's
great.
my Halloween Skinny Atlas story.
Nice.
We're at 15 minutes already.
We
Wow.
just started. Okay.
We're just getting into the wine.
I know. This wine is fantastic.
It is. Do you like it?
Yes, yeah, it's really
Yes,
Judith has an amazing palate.
she does.
We went in there last night. We went over to a friend's house late last night for pizza, and I like it because you walk in there and she like knows what you like instantly.
Yep, she
Like,
remembers.
She remembers everything. Like
Yep.
I don't even have to select anything.
Right.
She's like, "What are you having for dinner?" We're like, "Pizza." She's like, "Here,
Yep.
drink this." So 2 weeks in a row now, we've had a sparkling Shiraz.
Really? I've never had a sparkling Shiraz.
Me either.
Really? Awesome.
It was unbelievable. It was slightly sweet too.
Really?
And then what was that other one that we had? It was.
so good.
I should have brought the bottle. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Cab
It,
Sauv.
it was a Cab Sauv from the Central Coast, and it tasted like
nice.
a mouthful of black cherries.
Really?
I gotta
Oh,
go
that
look it
sounds
up
great.
because it was amazing.
Yeah, she's got great stuff. We had a nice French. What was that? That was a cab.
Yeah,
Was that just a cab sauv?
I think it was just a Cab Sauv.
Yeah.
We couldn't pronounce that either.
Yeah, we couldn't pronounce
I think
that
she
either.
does this on purpose so we
Yeah,
can't pronounce
so we
anything, so we look like
silly.
fools. And we have to come out with our dirty French accent,
That's right.
right?
They
Où
love
est-ce que
that.
tu le pamplemousse? Where is the grapefruit?
Oh,
I
Nice.
know. That was my nickname in high school, pamplemousse.
Oh,
You
yeah.
say everything's your nickname in high school.
That's a good point.
Everything.
Yes.
That's a good point. So
Literally.
next week we have hopefully we have the doctor back
Yep. And John Salka.
and John Salka. So what this also means is that we're already at the end of February. So we already have a new winner for our
yes.
charity
Who is it?
basketball.
Yes. Who is it? I.
It
remember.
was Michael Speach.
Yes.
Michael Speach wins.
Nice.
So he gets $25 donated to his favorite charity. We forgot to ask him
Oh.
what his favorite charity
yeah.
was.
And
I was just about to ask.
just
I
to
know.
throw a challenge out there for all of our future guests. Isn't Michael Speach? Doesn't he have the record for most hits so far on
I
our
thought
show?
John Henberg.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So
Yes.
Michael Speach now is the most watched A Week in the Life show.
Yes.
With over, last check, 13,000 views.
Yes, it was fascinating, and the candy was so amazingly
Oh,
good.
so good.
We so have to go there. Olivia and I still are talking about going there to get more candy.
Awesome.
But one thing I want to know though, I'm going to shamelessly plug you and Life of Riley. We should have had a bottle here on the table.
That's all right.
You have 3 stills over there.
We
now.
have 3 stills.
So what's the story with that?
So we have 3 still. We bought a third still so we can double production, which we just can't make it fast enough. It's just like insane. We're here 14, 16-hour days running the stills 3 times. So we were able to buy a third still, which enables us to double our production. So hopefully, if my numbers are right, we can get to almost 200 cases a month now.
Wow.
So yeah, we're going into the Jersey Shore soon, and more importantly, that allows me to get outside of these 4 walls. Not that I don't love these 4 walls, I do, but go out and start selling it and get better market penetration with the markets that we're currently in, with McCraith Beverages in Utica and Onondaga Beverage in Liverpool.
Fantastic.
Down to 1 minute. Really? We've been talking for a night? Wow.
Wow.
Let's just keep going.
We just got started. Yeah.
It'll cut off.
I will.
Oh,
Okay.
will?
So
Okay.
if you can,
Wow.
so to help us, we love that you are watching. Thank you so much.
Yes,
2
thank
guys
you.
sitting in the back of a warehouse drinking wine.
I know.
But we would love for you guys to hit the share button or subscribe down below on YouTube. That would be awesome for us.
Actually, let us know if there's someone you think would be cool on the show.
No
or
doubt.
a topic we want to discuss, or you want us to discuss.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
Absolutely. So comment below or hit us up
Yes.
on Twitter. See ya.
See ya.